Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to take a look at the Corporal's Corner logo cup and bottle set, which is kind of new, somewhat. It's been going for a little while. But we'll take a look at this, and we'll also take a look at the Pathfinder cup and bottle set so we can kind of see the differences between them, in case this was something you were potentially looking at. Although they are kind of hard to get, you know, Corporal's Corner, obviously the YouTube channel. I think he only drops like 50 of these or so every week, so you kind of got to be on top of it. When he drops his video, typically that's when he also drops these. So, you know, if you miss the video and come in an hour later, these aren't going to be there. These things usually sell out within like minutes, and it's actually taken me several weeks or even a few months just to get these because it didn't end up working out for me. I kept missing them and this and that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, and I'm sure none of you care anything about that. So let's first go ahead and get an up close look of the logo there, which looks nice. It is lasered in. We can get a nice good view there. Thankfully the camera's cooperating, which is a good thing. And I mean, these are going to be, you know, basically like your normal bottles, you know, like say Pathfinder or whoever, anybody else. Screw off lid, of course, you know, single wall so it can go on the fire, of course. And if you've seen Corporal's Corner before, he's used this, you know, ever since he started, since he came out with it, he's been using them. So, you know, no big deal there. To me, it feels just a little thicker than the Pathfinder. I mean, maybe it isn't, you know, but it almost feels like it. But, well, let's not compare it to that one yet. Let's just keep talking over this. So we do have a stainless steel inside there, and little bail handle on there, which is nice. I do like that. Alright, then we'll go ahead and go to the cup, which you can call it a cup if you want, but it's really kind of a mini bush pot with the bail here, which I like personally. I like having that on there. You know, then you don't have to worry about having anything else to hang this thing if, you know, that's what you would choose to do. And of course we've got the folding batwing handles, which are nice. They stay open, you know. I mean, they do move just a touch, but usually you can kind of push on them down a little bit or up sometimes, and they kind of lock a little bit better, you know. So that's nice, not flopping around everywhere. The lid has a little slot. Let's see if we can get it in the view here. Has a little slot right there, so when you stand this tab up, it'll slide down in it like that, and it'll stay standing. Obviously, you know, you're not gonna be able to knock that down until you push it back up. I like that. We have vent / drain holes in it. I like that too. The lid, it's just setting. It's not going to like push on, which I like it like that, honestly, because when you're you know, trying to lift the lid off with a stick or something, if it's snapped down on, it doesn't like to come off very easily. So I like that personally. And also, if we can see it on the inside there, our graduation marks, they're not lasered in, they're actually stamped in, which you can kind of see on the back there. They're stamped in. Obviously you read it from the inside, but so that's nice. That'll never come off of there, and I like that. That's good thinking. You know, a lot of this stuff that he's made here seems like he really was watching durability on it, you know, and thinking ahead for the situations you maybe needed it. You know, you may need this stuff in. So he also gives one of these little, it's called air mesh, or at least that's what I've heard it called, but it's like a squishy kind of mesh, you know, like you see on backpacks and a lot of that other stuff, you know. And that's just to, you know, put it in, because this doesn't come with a carrier or anything like that. It's just a cup and bottle set. I mean, it'll fit in a lot of carriers, you know. So there you go, you got that, and center down if you want to. Come on, there we go. And then you got your little, you know, your little cook set there, and this mesh should help with, if you do put this in a fire, all the carbon and all that stuff. It should help with that. Cool. So he also includes this neoprene sleeve right here, which goes over the bottle, not very easily, I might add. It is definitely a tight fit. Kind of got to get it started just right with that tab over here, so you can hold it and kind of, there we go. It's just difficult to get it started. It's pretty easy once you get it started. So then you've got that neoprene sleeve, you know, for insulation, hot beverage, cold beverage, whatever, it'll help you out. Or if, you know, you've got something hot in here that you're drinking, you know, like say coffee, or, I mean, I wouldn't drink coffee out of this, but someone might. You know, you can hold it by that, and it won't be as difficult to hold with the heat. You know, it'll isolate it from the heat. So let's remove these two pieces. Oh, and pricing wise, when I got this, it was $35, but I believe they may have went up to $40 or $45 even. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I just kind of looked briefly the other day, and I kind of forgotten now. But anyhow, no big deal there. So there's the Corporal's Corner. Now let's bring in the Pathfinder so we can kind of compare and contrast here a little bit. And obviously, you know, these two are kind of at odds, Corporal's Corner and Pathfinder people. You know, it's kind of funny. They kind of joke back and forth, if you want to call it that, although I don't think it's joking. But let's go ahead and we'll start with the cups, because that, well, no, let's get the bottles, because that's going to be real easy. Obviously, the caps are different. They're both made basically the same, but they don't interchange. They're just a little bit different thread pitch, which I don't know why, but oh well. Unless it could just be mine, you know. This actually isn't a 3rd generation bottle. I think it's a 2nd generation bottle, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe that's why. I don't know. But on the Pathfinder cup, of course, you're going to have your same batwing handles and your tab. It kind of stands up on its own, but that's only because it's so tight. It's not really an option, but at least it stands up. That's a good thing. Of course, you've got your holes, you know, your vent holes, drain holes, and then you've got your slots cut out for your fish mouth spreaders, which doesn't come with the cup and bottle kit. You've got to either buy this separately or buy a larger kit, but that would go inside that, and it has, oh, I gotta change it here, put it on there better. So you've got holes in the side that'll hang on. And our graduation marks, hopefully you can see that, are lasered in. And I mean, they probably won't never come off, but I mean, I could see it wearing down over time, maybe always stirring, but it may not. You know, it may not. I mean, I've used this stuff, but I haven't used it heavily. Well, I haven't used this one yet, but I've used the Pathfinder ones. I just haven't used it heavily and burned it all up a bunch. And not that it couldn't take it or couldn't handle it, I just haven't needed to really. And you're also going to notice, you know, height-wise here, the Pathfinder cup is just a little bit taller than this cup, you know. Diameter-wise, I think they're pretty well the same. best I can tell. So I mean, it should work. Yeah, it should work with any of the bottles out there, because you know there are some other companies making those things. And I think that's pretty much the difference. Well, I guess that's a difference there. So see, the Corporal's Corner cup has that little indent right there, and I would say that would add to the toughness. You know, like say if you dropped it, it probably wouldn't be as likely to dent in on the Corporal's Corner as it would on the Pathfinder. But I haven't dropped them, so I don't know. One other thing, the fifth fish mouth spreader is intended, you know, not only to hang this, but you of course can hang your bottle as well with it, you know, which is nice. But on the Corporal's Corner, obviously you can also use fish mouth spreader, no big deal. But if you don't have these, or don't want them, or don't carry them, or whatever, the simplest thing to do, which you've seen on Corporal's Corner before if you've watched it, and if you haven't, then maybe you're about to learn something, and then you can go back and check his channel and learn some more. But all it takes is a little stick like this with a string on it, and you don't want the string dead in the middle. You want it offset just a little bit, so that way when you're holding it, it has a slight angle on it like that. If it was just perfectly flat like this, it wouldn't work out. So what you're gonna do is you just drop that down in there, get up here, and like I said, those of you that have seen Corporal's Corner, you know how to do this already, more than likely. So you just take your stick, you just drop it in, and you pull towards this direction, and that'll capture it. So see, then you're captured. And that's how you could very easily, you can see the string there, that's how you could very easily lift and remove it from the fire. And when you want to pull it out, you just drop your stick in a little bit, and that angle drops it right out. Now, of course, you can do the same with a Pathfinder bottle, just the same, you know. And I mean, pretty much everybody carries some string, or, you know, paracord or rope or something with them. And I mean, that would be easy enough to construct, because surely you can find a stick. I mean, even in the cities, you know, you can find a stick, or, you know, you could use anything. If it was dire necessity, you could use a popsicle stick, or even a pencil. I mean, I wouldn't want to, but if it came down to using the pencil, you know, or dying of dehydration, I think I would just go ahead and use the pencil. I mean, that's just me. But so another thing about these, and I don't know, the reason why I feel like, yeah, I don't know, they're about the same, but I don't know. Like I said, Corporal's Corner just feels a little bit thicker, and I don't mean by much, just a tiny bit. But I don't know if you can see, probably not showing up on camera very well, but they're actually not finished quite the same. The Corporal's Corner bottle is just a little bit more polished than this Pathfinder. Now granted, I mean, I've used this some, but it, you know, it's not, it wasn't as polished as this, which, you know, doesn't really make a difference to me, but just something to make note. And oh, one other thing. So the other thing you could do, like say, to pick these up out of a fire, and if you haven't seen Corporal's Corner, you know, you can use a Y stick like this and another stick. And you know, it's not like Corporal's Corner, you know, Sean, he's not the only one that's ever done this or thought of it. It's just, I know he uses it on his channel, you know, so let's show you how this works. And this isn't exactly the best example because of all these knots and all that junk on there. It doesn't grab it the best, but this was the best sticks I had available. So, you know, you do this whole little pinch thing, and then, you know, you can pick that up out of the fire and put it back in the fire and pick it back out of the fire, you know. But this might take longer. Well, this would take longer to make, I think, than this would, because that can literally just be any old stick, you know, off the ground, and it's no big deal, you know. So that's my recommendation on it anyhow. Alright guys, that's been a look at the Corporal's Corner logo cup and bottle set, which you can find on Etsy. But my recommendation is to go through his channel and through his link, you know, in the description. And he's got his link to Etsy. You can go right there. But I'll tell you, it's usually around 9 or like 10 o'clock East. 9 or 10 o'clock Central Time is usually when he posts. So if you're looking to get one of these, you're gonna have to really pay attention on Sundays to, you know, for the drop. And don't wait for him to tell you they dropped. As soon as you see his video post, go to it and go to the link, and if it's there, you can get it. But he doesn't necessarily, you know, drop them every single week, so you might have to really pay attention. But in my opinion, this is an outstanding set. And like I said, on his channel, you've seen him use it over and over and over and over again. So we know it's good to go. I'm glad that I finally got my hands on one. And thank y'all for checking this out, and we'll catch you in the next one.